Karen crashed my ranch with a wedding. She didn't know it was a DEA safe house. People talk a lot about boundaries, fences, rules, respect. But in this case, Karen didn't just cross a line. She danced across it in heels, dragging 80 guests and a string quartet with her. My name is Solomon Ray. I own 28 acres just outside Willow County, Texas. On paper, it's a horse rehab ranch. In practice, it's a federally designated safe house for DEA witness protection, low-profile off-grid cameras, controlled access, and the kind of silence you only get when the stakes are life and death, which made what happened on June 3rd so absurd it still feels like a fever dream. I wasn't even supposed to be on the property that weekend. My team had cleared it for a scheduled lockdown, no movement in, no movement out. But that morning I got a motion alert from the west gate. At first I figured it was a deer, then I checked the feed. 2 box trucks, 3 white catering vans, and a caravan of luxury sedans rolled right through the side trail. Onto my land, into my field, wedding chairs were being unpacked. A tent was going up, and in the center of it, all standing with a clipboard and barking orders, Karen, I recognized her instantly. 3 months prior, she'd marched up my driveway in a floral print suit, demanding I remove the wire fencing because it offended the community's rustic aesthetic. I told her kindly but clearly that she had no jurisdiction here, that this wasn't HOA property. She called me aggressive. I figured that was the end of it. Turns out she'd been plotting. I raced back to the property. By the time I got there, a full-blown ceremony was underway. A string quartet played Vivaldi guests mingled with sparkling cider. An archway was planted in the dirt like it had always belonged. And Karen, she was at the center of it all, sipping champagne from a crystal flute. Karen, I said through clenched teeth, "What the hell is going on?" She blinked, annoyed I'd interrupted her toast. "Oh, Solomon, there you are. We needed a picturesque backdrop, and technically there's no signage saying this land is restricted. It's federal property, Karen." She laughed. No need to be dramatic, I didn't argue. I turned around and made the call. Code Silver, I told the operator. Unauthorized civilian incursion, potential exposure. Within 20 minutes, 2 unmarked SUVs peeled down the drive. Out stepped 3 DEA agents in plain tactical gear. No nonsense, no smiles. They didn't draw weapons. They didn't have to. The moment they walked into that wedding, you could feel the air suck out of the tent. Karen blinked hard. "Who are they?" One of the agents flashed his badge. U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration. "Ma'am, you are trespassing on a federal operational property." Gasps rippled. A bridesmaid dropped her mimosa. This is a wedding," Karen shrieked. "You're ruining a wedding." "No," I said coldly. "You ruined a federal perimeter by hosting a wedding without permission on a site that houses confidential informants." Her mouth fell open. The groom's father stormed over. "Karen, you said you had clearance." I thought it was just an abandoned horse ranch," she cried. "It wasn't." The tent was dismantled. Guests were escorted off the premises. One of the catering vans backed into a fence post on the way out, broke it clean off, and Karen. She was detained, then released on site. But that wasn't the end. The DEA filed a formal complaint to the county. Turns out Karen had forged a property rental agreement using a fake LLC she created under Ridgeview Events. Claimed she was hosting a small graduation picnic. Instead, she collected $15,000 from the bride's family and rerouted the wedding onto my land, assuming I wouldn't notice. It blew up. News stations ran the headline, "Fake Wedding, Real DEA Ceremony, Interrupted on Federal Witness Ranch." The bride's family sued Karen for fraud. The local sheriff fined her for trespassing, falsifying documents, and hosting an unpermitted event. And the HOA. They didn't just remove her, they banned her permanently. She tried to hold a community forum to explain her side. No one showed. As for me, I rebuilt the fence, upgraded the gate, installed a new sign. "Private federal ranch trespassers will be detained. Weddings will be terminated," and just for fun, I added one more. "In loving memory of Karen's career." The end.